News First reveals a number of projects that were limited to mere words. Villagers in Padiyatalawa, Ampara continue to wait for a proper electricity supply. The access road to 4 villages in Ridimali at the Mahiyangane are forgotten by officials since 2005. A partially constructed tea factory and office complex in Bulatkohopitiya. The Mahavava in Balagaswava Hambantota destroyed due to the negligence of officials. When will these projects be completed and be of use to the public?
On to other news, 31 Sri Lankan illegal migrants who travelled to Australia by sea have been deported to Sri Lanka. Australia's Minister of Immigration and Citizenship, Brendan O'Connor, said that the group of Sri Lankans departed Christmas Island today after failing to meet Australia's international obligations.
According to the Minister of Immigration and Citizenship in Australia, the deporting of the group of 31 Sri Lankans today takes the number of Sri Lankan illegal migrants sent home to 1,161 since August last year. Minister of Immigration and Citizenship Brendan O'Connor said returning the group of Sri Lankans sends a powerful message in that those who pay smugglers are throwing their money away and risking their lives to travel to Australia. O'Connor also said Australia is committed to breaking the evil people smuggling trade, and if people arrive in the country without authorization, they will be returned to their homeland. He added that Australia will continue to transfer people to Nauru and Manus Island.
The 22nd working meeting of the IUCN SSC Crocodile Specialist Group, titled the World Crocodile Conference Sri Lanka, concluded yesterday.
The 3-day conference saw the participation of a worldwide network of international biologists, wildlife managers, researchers and others actively involved in the conservation of world's living species of alligators, crocodiles and caimans in the wild.
Yeah, the Crocodile Specialist Group has about 500 members from 62 countries around the world that are all specialists with crocodiles, with their conservation, their management, their research, their farming, the leather industry, everything to do with crocodiles. And so we meet once every year or 2 years to discuss world conservation problems with crocs and how best to solve them.
And let's take a quick look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.
On to business news, Senior Minister and Deputy Minister of Finance Dr. Saratha Munugama says that the government's current subsidy system needs to be changed. He points out that under the current system, subsidies are provided favouring those who do not need the subsidy. Speaking at an event held in Colombo yesterday, the Senior Minister expressed these views.
Now look at our subsidy scheme in Sri Lanka. It's a ludicrous subsidy schemes that we have. All of us are enjoying subsidies when it comes to education, when it comes to health, when it comes to power. Why should any of you here be given subsidies? Do you think any of you here in this should be also participate in the subsidies that are given? Every one of us. But today, and these are, a lot of studies are coming out showing that subsidies almost in every case go to the wrong people. Subsidies in fact go to the wrong people, favoring those who don't need the subsidy. The people who need the subsidy can't access those goodies. So we have to think of another system. But I think as economists you'll have to rethink this issue.
The Minister also expressed views regarding the consequences of massive subsidies being granted to the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation.
Look at the electricity subsidy. Now, every year, would you believe, 25% of the balance sheet of the funds of the People's Bank and the Bank of Ceylon are given to the Electricity Board and the Petroleum Corporation as a never payback loan. Neither the loan is paid back nor even interest. The two banks which is collecting money from you and me are putting 25% of their total assets, not assets, their their capital. That means every one of you who wants to build a house or do some investment has to pay this balance.
An event to mark the induction of the first elected CMA president was held in Colombo last evening. Now, speaking at this event, Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Piri said that a business council with the participation of international entrepreneurs will take place concurrent to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in November this year.
Professor Lakshman R. Watavala was inducted as the first elected president of the Certified Management Accountants of Sri Lanka. The event was attended by leading personalities in the accounting field.
If you take a look at what is happening around you, I would say that the most significant element of that landscape is the unprecedented emphasis on the development of physical infrastructure. All these have been made possible by the eradication of terrorism in our country. One of the upcoming events which I think you can help with in a big way is the Business Council that will be held on the sidelines of the Commonwealth Summit. We propose to organize a Business Council which will bring into Sri Lanka entrepreneurs of the highest stature, not only from the 54 countries of the Commonwealth, but also from some other countries with which Sri Lanka has very vigorous trade and investment ties.
Up next is Action TV.
Yesterday, Action TV carried an expose on the 10 o'clock news bulletin on Sirasa TV regarding 2 letters penned by the medical superintendent of the Dambulla Base Hospital containing notifications that he is not authorized to make. These 2 letters, dated yesterday, were addressed to the medical superintendents of the Matale and Navalapitiya base hospitals. The 2 letters penned by the medical superintendent of the Dambulla base hospital also caused the director of health services of the central province to visit the hospital this morning. The content of the 2 letters penned by the medical superintendent was also the basis of a discussion held at the Dambulla base hospital today under the patronage of the director of health services of the central province. In his letters, the medical superintendent requests the medical superintendents of the Matale and Navalapitiya base hospitals to come to the Dambulla base hospital and take away equipment in the intensive care unit that is not being made any use of. On 4 prior occasions, Action TV has carried exposés on the failure to utilize this ICU, which was declared open on the 21st of February 2011. Although plans had been made to commence operations at the ICU on the 1st of May, this had to be postponed as there was insufficient time to fulfill certain needs that had been brought up by the medical superintendent. However, the decisions reached at today's discussion is a cause for happiness not only for the people of Dambulla and surrounding areas, but also for people residing in the Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Trincomalee, Matale and Kurunegala districts.
අද දිනේදී ලබා දුන් තීරණ තමයි ජූන්.
Based on the decision taken today, 2 beds will be set up at the ICU of the Dambulla Hospital from the 1st of June. The doctors and nursing staff have been given training. We have procured all necessary equipment. I am very happy that everyone reached an agreement.
Before we wrap up the news bulletin tonight, we have something interesting to share with you. A bear meandered through a neighborhood north of downtown Los Angeles.
The male black bear walked through a terrace backyard in the Sun Valley area and hopped a fence before running down a hill. Police surrounded the home and tracked the bear's movements from the sky.
Now, officials from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife tranquilized the animal, and he is expected to be released in the Los Angeles National Forest. For the News First team, I'm Nadim Majid. Good night and good luck.